It is my distinct pleasure and honor to introduce our commencement speaker today, Lieutenant Gen.Ronald Peay. In 1977, Ronald Peay was known around Austin Peay State University as a talented wide receiver for the governor's football team. Today, he is referred to, with honor, as Lieutenant General Peay, Deputy Commandant for Plans, Policies, and Operations for the United States Marine Corps. During a very illustrious career, Dr. General Peay has overseen the Marine Corps Recruiting Command, served as Deputy Commanding General of the 3rd Marine Expeditionary Force, served as Director of the Expeditionary Warfare School, and was assigned as the Commandant of the Marine Corps National Fellow of the Council on Foreign Relations. General Peay has earned graduate degrees from Webster University and the National War College. His awards include the Defense and Superior Service Medal with Bronze Oak Leaf, Legion of Merit with Combat B, Meritorious Service Medal with 2 Gold Stars, Navy and Marine Corps Commendation Medal with Gold Star, the Navy Marine Corps Achievement Medal, Presidential Unit Citation, and the Combat Action Ribbon. I was really excited that he agreed to be our commencement speaker today because he's one of us. He's been in the same chairs you've been sitting in today. And in a few years, I want to be saying the same things about you that I'm able to say about General Peay today. We're very proud of and very thankful for his service to our country, and I am honored to present to you Lieutenant General Ronald Peay.
To say thank you very much, President Ryan. I've been carrying around that title, Lieutenant General Ron Peay, for a while, but the title I carry around is that I am a graduate of Austin Peay. So in my bio for 38 years, I've had Austin Peay in the first line. And I will tell you students that everywhere you go, someone's going to ask you, as they always ask me, do they really say let's go Peay? And I tell them, yes, they do. So let me take care of a couple of what I'll call administrative notes. Make sure you send your mother a Mother's Day card, okay? Get that out of the way right now. The next thing I want to tell you is that I have a confession to make. I don't remember jack about my commencement speaker. So I don't expect you to. I'm just going to tell you the facts. I can't even begin to think who it was, what they were doing, or when, or whatever happened. I just remember walking across the stage, getting a diploma, and hugging my dad and my mother, because those were the people that were important to me. So I'm going to share with you a story. You may not remember jack about what I'm saying today, but you'll probably remember this story that I'm going to share with you. I'm going to ask you to travel with me on a journey. This journey is going to be on 3 ships. Ship of leadership, the ship of ownership, and the ship of mentorship. To me, leadership is about influence and relationship. And as I look out at you, you are the future leaders of this nation. I can tell you firsthand, in both peace and in combat, there are men and women like you who do not hesitate to take charge of this nation and do the things that this nation requires. See, leaders are those who are authority or with knowledge. They know their business. And you have been prepared. This education will prepare you. I can tell you that today, I had no idea that when I was sitting in your seat 38 years ago, that I would be responsible for 187,000 Marines. I control their movement, I control the ships, I control the tanks, and everything that's associated with the United States Marine Corps. But when I was sitting in your seat, I had no idea that today I would be responsible for that many lives and that responsibility. A leader has vision, the vision to understand the facts and be able to determine the simple from the complex. Now the story I want to share with you is a story about an estate auction, when some of the finest china and linen of great value was sold. And all of the items in this auction went very rapidly, except this one little object. This little object was a dusty, old, dirty-looking violin. So when the auctioneer got ready to put the bid up for the violin, he said, where do we want to start the bid? Someone said, said, I'll give you $2. Then another guy said, okay, I'll take it off your hands for $50. By that time, an older gentleman stood up from the back and he started walking down the center aisle. He walked down the center aisle, he grabbed that running of the violin, and he reached in his back pocket and he pulled out a handkerchief and he started shining his violin. And this violin became really shiny. Then he started plucking the keys and tuning it. And then he put it up into his shoulder and he started playing this beautiful song. He played the most amazing song that you would ever want to hear called Amazing Grace. And by that time, there were tears in the eyes of all the people in the audience. And he put the violin down and he went back to his seat. And then they decided to make it a bid. The starting bid was $5,000. The next bid was $10,000. The violin sold for $50,000. By that time, a gentleman who was asleep in the back woke up and a frail lady said, hey, what happened? He said, that gentleman, he stood up, and when he played that song, Amazing Grace, he put everybody into the Spirit. And so I'm standing here to tell you, get into the Spirit. You are the leaders of our nation. And so as you travel with me on this journey of leadership, it is the leader who sets the environment and tempo. And so I'm telling you that as you walk through these doors, your life begins. You set the tempo in every organization that you go in. It's the leader who will take charge of all that's happening. So are you going to be that guy that walks down the center and see the environment? Because leaders need to know their environment. Leaders need to be able to sense their environment. Are you going to be the one who takes and sit in the back and go to sleep? You see, there's always somebody observing you. That old frail lady was sitting in the back, she's your recorder. She's your video. She's your camera. And so I say to you, make sure that you're aware of what's going to happen to you. And so ownership is a key to who we are. You are to take 100% responsibility for what you are to do today, tomorrow, and for the rest of your life. And see, that's what ownership will allow you to do. But in ownership, not only are you taking control, but I ask you to not be a know-it-all. And I'm going to share one more story with you. There were these three individuals flying on a plane. One was a priest, a Boy Scout, and a teacher. Just as they were flying out, the pilot came back to the main cabin and said, I've got some bad news. Plane's going to go down. The other bad news I have for you is there's only 3 parachutes and there are 4 of you. He took one of the parachutes and said, you know, my wife and kids really need me, and so I'm going to take one, and he jumps out. The second guy, the teacher, stood up and said, I'm the smartest teacher in the world needs me. And so he grabs the parachute and he jumps out. The priest turned to the Boy Scout and he said, son, I lived a long and fruitful life. Why don't you take that last parachute and go on and live a good life? The Boy Scout said, well, rest easy, Pop, man. That guy that said he was the smartest guy in the room, he grabbed my backpack. So I say to you, don't be the smartest guy in the room. Be someone that listens, take ownership, be responsible. Don't be a know-it-all. And the final one that I say to you is mentorship. You see, that's an in vogue term to use today. But what it means is that you are serving someone. See, mentors are role models. They exemplify the good of what we want to be and do. And so I say to you, never lose sight of the fact that you should be a mentor. It doesn't matter how old you are or what you're doing. Be a mentor. Because you're serving people, you're serving others. And it basically says a lot about what you're about to do. You see, you need a mentor to help guide you. When you're confused about the altitude, he can help you with the attitude. See, it takes a mentor to help you find the road to success. Because when you're lost, you don't know what to do. But the mentor helps you find your way. It takes a mentor to make sure you understand what it takes to be the best that you can be. And so, as I told you to spend some time this weekend talking about the good things with your parents, I want you to remember that when you walk out of this door, you're not only an Austin State University governor, but but you carry the name of your family. And so I will leave you with this. It's called your name. You got it from your mother and father. It was all they had to give. So it's yours to use and cherish for as long as you shall live. If you lose the watch they gave you, it can always be replaced. But a black mark on your name, son or daughter, can never be erased. It was clean the day you took it. A worthy name to bear. You got it from your mother and father. There was no dishonor there. So make sure you guard it wisely, for when all is said and done, you'll be glad the name is spotless when you give it to your daughter or son. So I say to you, as in the Marine Corps, Semper Fidelis, which means always faithful. Always remain faithful to yourself, to your organization, to this great country in which we live. God bless you.